Hey you, I welcome you back to my channel. So today we want to talk about marriage vows. One thing you have to note is that marriage is something that God himself created. It's an institution that God created and he gave us instructions how he wants us to do it. And then on the marriage days, however, wherever you do your marriage, there are some vows that are said. But in this video, I'll restrict myself to the common vows that we say in Ghana. Yes, those vows are not in the Bible, but it is something that has been accepted and almost at every weddings we say it. But maybe you haven't taken your time to think through. Maybe you didn't really think through before you took the vows. There are instances that some people have said, it is the pastor who said I should say it and I said it. But even if the pastor said that you should say it and you said it, you have still committed yourself. And one thing you have to know is that marriage is a covenant. But let me explain to you the difference between a contract and a covenant. With contracts, one person can stand up and say, I won't do the contract again and I'll pay whatever penalty that I have to pay. With covenant, for the covenant to be broken, both parties should agree that we are not doing again. That is why when you go to court for a divorce, your other partner should sign that both of you have agreed that you are not marrying again before the divorce can be granted. Now, in Malachi chapter 2, verse 13 to 16, the Bible says that you have prayed, you have fasted, you are crying that why is it that my prayers are not answered? And your prayers are not answered because the covenant you had with your youthful wife, you have broken it. And the Bible also says that when you do not marry your wife right, your prayers are not going to be answered. That same way, there are verses in the Bible that speaks to the wife. So before you go into marriage, know that this is a divine covenant you are going in. It is not a child's play. And you should know that this is what I am doing, this is what I'm getting myself to, and I am ready to do it. And the covenant of marriage is a covenant of sharing and security. You share your body, you share your money, you share your assets, you share your liabilities, you share children, you share family. It is also a covenant of friendship, companionship, because the Bible says that God realized that Adam was alone, and so he created Eve to be with Adam. So your spouse is supposed to be your friend, and it is a covenant made in heaven, not on earth. So let's get to the vows. Now, I am going to spell the vows and I am going to try as much as possible to explain one or two with you in the vows. There are four promises and there are four conditions in the vows that we normally use in Ghana. So it is I, then you mention your name, take you, then you mention your spouse name as my lawfully wedded wife or husband. I promise to love you, to honor you, to comfort you, and to care for you. Now, these are the promises. I promise to love you. I promise to honor you. I promise to care for you and to comfort you. These are the conditions for better, for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, forsaking all others, cleaving to you alone, as long as we both shall live. Let's take it one by one. I promise to love you. What is love? 1 Corinthians chapter 13 gives us a vivid description of what love is. Love is patience. So if you promise to love someone, you're going to be patient with a person. Love is kind. You can't tell me you love me without being kind to me. Love does not envy. There are people in marriages who envy their partners when their partners are being successful. Love does not boast. Love is not proud. I am the man. You do what I say. Love does not dishonor others. So you are treating your wife, you are treating your husband without honor. Love is not self seeking. This is what makes me happy. This is what I like doing. Love is not easily angered. That is why it has told us that love is patient. Love does not record wrongs. Last year you did this. Last month you did this. Meanwhile, you claim you have forgiven the person. Love does not delight in evil, but it rejoices in truth. So you cannot be cheating chronically on your wife and still tell her that I love you. Love always protects. So you are supposed to protect your spouse. Love always trusts. There are lots of marriages nowadays that there is no trust. The wife doesn't trust the husband doesn't trust the wife because of things that we have shown or we have done to our partners. Love always hopes and love always preserves. And then it says that love does not fail. So if you promise to love someone, then you should be ready to be patient, you should be ready to be kind, you should be ready to be everything that 1 Corinthians chapter 13 have described. I promise to love you. I promise to honor you. How do you honor someone? When you honor someone, you respect him. You respect her. When you honor someone, when you are using words on the person, you are careful. You use wise words, you use positive words. You do not care someone you honest. You do not discuss his or her weakness with others. Yes, your husband faulted. Yes, your wife did something. Love, you break the person down, you have mature conversation, you communicate about whatever it is. You don't go about telling everybody something that your partner, him or herself, is not even proud of. When you honor someone, you do not discuss his weakness with others, and then you respect the person's opinions. So you promise to love, really. Are you like you promise to honor the person? You promise to comfort the person. When you comfort someone, you provide affection for the person, you give the person attention, you validate the person's feeling, you remind him or her that he or she can lean on you, and you compliment the person. And then I promise to care for you. You look at the person's love language, and then you care for the person. You speak the person's love language to him or her. If the person likes words of affirmation, you give the person words of affirmation. If the person likes gifts, you give the person gifts. If the person likes spending quality time together, you make time and spend with your partner. You promise to care for the person. What are the conditions for better and for worse? So when the person is in his or her best behavior, you love the person. When the person is in his or her worst behavior, you still love the person. In richer or in poorer, there have been instances where wives ran away from their husbands because their husband's financial status was lowered. There have been instances where husbands left their wives because they felt that the wives cannot complement them financially. With or without money, you are there. With or without the person's good character, you are making a vow to be with the person in sickness and in health. When even the person is down with stroke, you stick with the person. You don't push the person to his family and says, I've tried, I can't continue. Take your family member. When the person is healthy, you are with the person. When he is sick or he or she is sick, you are with the person. And forsaking all others. Like, see, like really, have you forsaken all others? You are making a vow that I'm going to forsake all others, all ladies, all guys, and stick with you. And now we've normalized cheating. I am forsaking all others and cleave with you. When you cleave with someone, when you cleave with someone, you become one. You do things together. You take decisions together. Some of you have not forsaken all others. Some of you have not even cleaved with your partner. And then you said, as long as we both shall live. So, my dear, you cannot say, I don't love you again. You cannot say, I don't care, unless whatever it is affecting your life, and that when you don't live, your life is at risk. Note, the covenant of life supersedes the covenant of marriage. But aside that, you cannot take all these vows and start doing anything that you want and says it is the pastor who said I should do it and I did it. Marriage is a serious business. Marriage is a divine institution and it must be seen as such. Yes, you do not take marriage to heaven, but because of marriage, a lot of people are going to lose their salvation. So, my dear, if you're about to get married, know that this is what you are getting yourself into. If you are already married, remember the vows you made in the presence of God. Remember, you have a covenant with your spouse, with God being a witness. And try as much as possible to fulfill these vows that you made. Because even though the pastor said for you to repeat after him or her, you still made that vows. And if you also took your own vows, you wrote your own vows and you said it, you still have to stick with it. Don't forget that marriage is a divine institution. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please ask me any question you want to ask in the comment section and I'll try as much as possible to answer you. Kindly subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that and I'll see you in the next video.